Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we've got a 9 of Wands. This is strength. You're somebody with a lot of strength, a lot of inner strength, a lot of resolve. You have the kind of character where you don't break your promises, right? You commit to something and you do it, you follow through. When you believe in something, when you feel something, especially because of the lunar connection in this card, when you feel something strongly and you commit to it and you sort of devote yourself to it, there's no breaking your will. There's no pushing you off of that path, okay? You're somebody with a very strong mind and a strong heart. Yeah. I feel as if like people in your life really rely on you. People know that you're sort of you're a stand-up person, you know, what they might say. You're always there. You're always like the rock for people. People know that they can count on you. Yeah. Because you're strong, because I think, and I think you've been through a lot in your life. I think that it's your sort of past, it's the challenges that you've experienced in life that make you who you are, that have sort of tempered you into a very, very strong person, very strong-willed person. Let's see what we're doing with this very strong will, okay? Let's put this card into some context. We need some more cards here. We got an Emperor energy. Okay, that makes sense. We've got the Sun. Beautiful. We've got an Ace of Wands. A lot of fire now. A lot of fire. The Emperor is some very fiery Aries energy from the Sun. Well, it's that great big ball of fire, right? And we got that Ace. We've got an 8 of Wands, even more fire energy now. You're really, you're burning up about something, okay? And, oh my God, all fire energy. Now we've got the Queen of Wands in the future position. I wonder if you are kind of battling somebody else in your life. I wonder who this Emperor is. If it's maybe an older male energy, it could be a father type person. It could be a boss. It could be somebody in your life maybe that is that has a very strong will as well, right? And I almost wonder if you don't like being in this sort of battle with this person. Maybe you're used to doing things your way by yourself. And now there's this person here, perhaps anyway, trying to tell you what to do. Let's keep going here. 5 of Wands, more fire energy. Princess of Wands. Okay, more fire energy. That is the Eon card, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by fire. Final card here. Will it be fire? Of course it is fire. This is rare. This has never happened before. Your reading is literally fire. Okay, that's crazy. While we're here, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here and put Kevin, aka Mr. Bates, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. Hopefully, it won't be more fire. If at any point during this reading you have a prediction for that card, I would encourage you to put it down in the comments, okay? It's always a good idea to practice our intuition. We could do it as a group exercise, and it's kind of fun, too, all right? You can just say it's going to be a fire card, right? Because, come on, I mean, what else is it going to be? We do have some major arcana energy, though, which is very good. We have the Emperor, the Sun, and the Eon card. Okay? And it's kind of the Eon card's in a weird position because this is the difficulty. And I think the difficulty is for you to really make this decision regarding this Emperor in your life. Okay? And go through this doorway and sort of shut the door on the past in some way. Okay? Now, I wonder if it has something to do with the Ace of Wands here in the background. I wonder if, I kind of at first started wondering if you're so used to doing things your way, on your own, by yourself. You're the only boss, right? You're kind of working independently here. To suddenly now there's this Emperor here. There's maybe a team member, there's a partnership, there's another boss, there's another coworker. Suddenly you've got to kind of work with somebody else. And I wonder if going through this fiery doorway means that you're kind of coming to grips with accepting this partnership, of realizing that you don't have to do everything on your own. Whether this is a work thing or a personal thing, private thing, whether it's something to do with family or friends. It's almost like you're kind of accepting the help from somebody who is equally as strong as you are. Yeah? And even though that's the difficult thing, you want to kind of go back here. That's why the Eon is in the difficult position. The obstacle here is for you to close the door on the past and say, okay, I'm willing to try this thing out. I'm willing to give it my best shot and see how it works with this other person, whether this is like suddenly at work, you're kind of being given a partner or something, or a new supervisor, or even in, let's say you're in school and it's kind of like, okay, now you got to work in teams, and you're like, I don't, not that you don't work well in a team, but I think you like to be a team of one. That's sort of what you're used to, I think. Okay, I don't know if that's what you prefer, but I feel like that's what you've had in the past with that ace, especially with the Ace of Wands back here. So we've got our major arcana energy. The Sun card is perhaps the sort of the unconscious realization that maybe things are better in groups, right? Maybe this would be a lot more fun in a partnership, as a pair, rather than staying the kind of independent. Maybe you're an independent artist. Maybe this is the idea of kind of teaming up with a record company, right? Maybe this is you being a freelance kind of person. Well, now you're going to go work for a company, or, something like this, right? It doesn't have to be individual to individual. All right. But it could be a friendship, partnership, creative collaboration. It could be a romantic thing. We don't see anything other than fire, 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 fire. And of course, our very fiery major arcana energies. You really are on fire right now. Okay. And this could mean that we're sort of in fight mode. Especially when you've got this Ace of Wands, and then here comes this other entity, the Emperor, whoever it is. You kind of already got your dukes up. You're already in this sort of maybe an offensive position with this thing. Now, this could be an Aries person in your life, sure. It could be just representing the idea of the kind of having to acquiesce to a larger authority. If you're an independent worker, well, suddenly now you got this company that's kind of telling you what to do. The record company, or the business, or the owners of the business, the management, whatever, right? It's kind of under that, under the auspices of something else. And now you've kind of have to either figure out how to make it work in this sort of partnership, or figure out how to get out of this thing. Okay. But I feel like the tensions are very high. I feel like it's not easy for you to sort of calm down, especially if this person is coming in and kind of changing things up, making things, saying, hey, we're going to start doing something different, and it's like, wait a minute, I've been doing things this way for my whole life. And now you, the stranger, just coming in, your first day here, you're coming in and trying to change the way we're doing things, the way I'm doing things, And so I feel that it really gives you, like a frustration, really gives you an anxiety. I feel like your skin is literally hot to the touch, okay? I wonder if there is even I mean, maybe with all this, I wonder if there's some sort of a connection with literal fire for you. Maybe as a kid or as a young adult, or you had something happen with fire. I'm wondering. Maybe. But, nobody likes somebody just coming into our space and telling us what to do. It's like if suddenly someone came into the studio and just kind of said, okay, I'm the new boss around here. We're going to change the lights. We're going to change the curtains, the flowers. You got to use some different cards, and I don't like the way you dress. We're going to change everything. It's going to be a whole new channel, right? Excuse me? No. I would automatically be in this sort of fiery, heated, kind of defensive, maybe offensive position with that, right? Anybody would. You didn't just say, oh, okay, cool, let's change everything, So it's understandable that we're in this fiery mode right now, okay? Underneath the surface is interesting with this Sun card. It's the clarity. It is kind of, it's the difficulty that you're having right now seeing the different vantage points of this. You're seeing kind of one fiery beam of light, right? But we're not seeing all the different maybe opportunities, all of the different sort of outcomes, all of the different perspectives here. Okay? There's a lot of things that you don't know about the situation. All we know is that it feels like somebody's coming in and trying to take over. Whether this is in your personal life, your professional life, your creative life, your spiritual life, whatever it might be. Okay? It could really be that you're a musician and now you've got this producer or this, maybe a record label or a record company executive that's coming in and trying to tell you how to create, how to do what you do. Okay. The Sun card underneath does say that you're a very creative person, but I feel like with the Emperor here, it almost feels as if the Emperor is kind of pushing down the creativity, saying that's not the most important thing. Right? But the creativity, I think, letting this light shine, living the life that you want to live, being who you are, and radiating all of your energy in this way is kind of what you want to do. You want to be free to shine your light how you see fit, not having some emperor come in and say, we're not doing that anymore. Okay? And even this card is about that sort of creative freedom. Wanting to do things your way, right? But there is kind of an idea of trying to see the different vantage points, trying to see not that we have to just automatically give in to whatever this energy is, right? But that there might be some hidden advantages. Okay, and the Eight of Wands up here, I believe this is you getting a little bit anxious about things, because sometimes this is the feeling that we're stuck in a room and we don't want to be in this room, but we don't know which way to go to get out of this. Okay, it's like there are a lot of paths around you. There's maybe a lot of doors you could go through, but we don't know which one to really commit to, and so. It's a far cry from this Ace of Wands where you just sort of knew instinctually, intuitively, with your creative will and your vision, how to direct your life. Now it's kind of like things are a little bit more chaotic. And I believe there's some anxiety and some frustration that's taken place here. Maybe I'm putting it lightly. There's a lot of fire here. Okay. But also this is kind of the... maybe the opening up to some of these other possibilities, kind of saying that maybe we can explore some different avenues here now that we are in some way partnered up with this, whether it's an individual, whether it's you getting that job, kind of going from being the independent contractor or the freelancer to now actually working for the newspaper, right? Maybe this is really opening up a lot more opportunities that we aren't really seeing because we're just so mad about it, that I think as the fire energy sort of dissipates a little bit, we should be able to see that, okay, there are a lot of benefits here. This is something like, and maybe it's, maybe you own your own business. Maybe this is kind of a situation where you are hiring a CEO, right? Or you're hiring some kind of a manager or something that's going to open up more possibilities for you, but it kind of requires you to play ball a little bit, you know? And that's a difficult thing to adjust to, for sure. Again, it's like if somebody came in here and said, hey, I can, make your channel, get you 1 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, but you got to do things my way. I don't know how I would feel about that, Maybe I'm okay with only having 200,000 subscribers. It's tempting, yes, but what is the cost, And I think that's what's creating a lot of anxiety too, is not only the kind of the idea that somebody's taking away some of your freedom or some of your creative control of something, right? Your independence, but also, if there is this promise of success, what is the cost? Okay, we're going into the future position with the Queen of Wands, more fiery energy, but at least there's a little bit of water in here. So I feel like this is you having a little bit of patience. It's kind of saying, look, I don't like you, but I'll listen to what you have to say. Don't you cross me, right? Or you're going to regret it. So I feel like you're still very fiery, right? But there's this little tiny bit of saying, okay, I'll listen to what you have to say. I'll try it, but don't you cross me, right? To me, that's the Queen of Wands here. And it's just that little tiny bit of water energy that says we're willing to kind of listen, to see what they have to say, to see what the opportunities are, to see how it might progress, rather than literally just fighting against this and maybe even running the other direction or, abandoning this thing altogether. So I feel like this is good. This is a good start. Okay. And now we're going to go over to the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It is totally free, and it really does support the channel, and I appreciate that. I'd like to get 1 million subscribers. I would. Okay. Anyway, 5 of Wands is your general energy. And this is good too, because the 5 of Wands is sort of you understanding that you can't always be going like pedal to the metal. You can't always have the most fiery energy that you could possibly have. We're not going from 0 to 100 instantly anymore. We're kind of pulling back. We're easing down a little bit. Okay, this is the card of fight. This is the strife card, right? And it's kind of us understanding when to fight and when to kind of just wait and see how things play out. It takes a lot of discipline. This is a Saturn and Leo card. It takes a lot of control, a lot of self-control to kind of to not just like wild out, which is kind of what we see with the Princess of Wands in the next position, in the environment position. I think that it feels like this is unfair. It feels like this is wrong. It feels like this is an attack. And so your automatic sort of instinct is to maybe to even punch first, right? Rather than to get hit and then have to respond. Now, I'm not advocating violence. We're talking metaphors here, okay? But this is very impulsive, and it kind of says that, I've got to react first before something happens to me. It's kind of like, if it's a relationship, it's like, well, I better break up with them because I can see what's coming down the line. This is no good. I better hurry up, and break up with them. Or I better quit my job right now. Or this is even going in and kind of dropping an ultimatum to your boss and saying, either give me all this money or this creative control or whatever or I'm out of here. Most of the time, at least in my experience, the boss will say, okay, sorry, there's the door. Okay. So we're trying to rein that in, especially with the 5 of Wands. We're trying to control that impulsive behavior and not just react to the situation. Not even to sort of react preemptively because we think, oh, something bad's coming down the line. I better break up with this person quick. A lot of fiery energy here today. I mean, it's literally getting hot in the room here. The obstacle for you really is to kind of to realize that things are changing. Okay. And I don't know why Spirit's showing me a refrigerator with a lot of magnets on it. What is the refrigerator magnet? maybe we need to go kind of stick our head in the refrigerator for a minute and cool things down a little bit. But yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of refrigerator magnets. I don't know if it's from different places that you've been or something, maybe. But the Eon card is this fiery doorway. It's this hot, painful, rather burning experience, very frustrating experience that is taking us to a new level. And the difficulty, I think, is one, allowing this process to take place, and two, believing that what's on the other side of this doorway is good for you, is beneficial for you. Okay, that this is like leading to something that you're going to be happy about. But right now we maybe can't quite see it. And with the Eight of Wands, it's kind of like somebody is promising you a lot, but it's kind of like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow there, right? Where if I can't see it, I'm not going to buy it, you know? And so it's difficult to really see what's on the other side of this doorway. Usually the Eon card is one of these doorways. There's a lot of doorway cards in the tarot, you know. And we'll do a divine doorway for this card right now. But a lot of the time, the Eon card is a doorway through which we can see the future. We can see where this path or this decision is taking us. And it is a decision that you have to make. You have to kind of agree to be okay with this, right? No one's forcing you to do anything. But once you do, it's kind of like this freelancer, independent artist thing is kind of over now. So you're signing a contract or something maybe. But this is a doorway that's difficult to get through because it requires us to leave a lot of stuff behind. We're making big changes that are uncomfortable changes. But we can see what's on the other side of the doorway, and it's something we want, right? So it's one of those doorways that it's very difficult to get through it, but you really like what you see on the other side, okay? Now we're going to do one of these divine doorway cards. Inner power. Another kind of fiery card, right? By your own command, you brought yourself here. At this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. Inner power kind of is saying, for one thing, look, whatever this is, if you can see the other side of that doorway and you, with your solar kind of clarity, if you can see that this is something that's bringing good benefits, good energy into your life, then, you know, you can get yourself through this, that we can kind of overcome this surge of fire energy, and we can go through that doorway. Okay, it looks very unassuming on that side, doesn't it? But we know kind of what this is and what it's sort of requiring of you. On the other side of the doorway, of course, Four of Wands, right? This is Venus in Aries. This is kind of a card that says, look, you know, on the other side, a lot of what you want is coming together. It's that kind of, it's that beauty and love of Venus, right? That is kind of, it's very intentional with that Aries energy. It's something that you're kind of willing into place. To me, it feels like, it feels like a structure or an organization or a partnership or a system being put in place that really is kind of exactly what you want. Like, it's like we see the end, we see the result here, but we just don't like how we have to go to get it. We don't like the route we have to take to get there. Okay? The four, though, to me, is anytime we get a 5, we start looking for the 4. Anytime we get a 4, we start looking for the 5, right? To me, the 4 is saying that whatever this situation is, if this is a partnership, if this is some sort of agreement, if this is some sort of a contract or something, this is the idea that it is temporary. Whatever situation you're moving into, whatever this kind of authority is that you have to accept, or this whatever, right? It's not going to last forever. It's a temporary stepping stone on the way to your larger future, okay? So we may be feeling like you're kind of signing your life away, that this is a forever thing. But the Four of Wands says it's not. This is just this is one necessary step in a larger path. It is a temporary thing, because once we get here, for however long this is kind of meant to last, we go start looking for the 5 again, and we realize, okay, now we've got to kind of assert ourselves and make some changes again. Anytime we get the 4, we know a 5 is going to be required pretty soon. Anytime we get a 5, we know that eventually we've got to stabilize and settle down into a 4. Okay? The 4 of Wands for me always reminds me of like a campfire. You know, you go camping for the night, you gather some stones, you put them in a circle, you build the fire up in the middle, and it's nice, it's warm, it's, you know, you need it for now. But then in the morning, the fire dies down. What do? You kick some dirt over it, put some water on it, you put the stones back where it was, you sweep it up with a tree branch or whatever, and it's gone, right? But it was very necessary for that night. And in fact, campfires can be very enjoyable. You can roast some marshmallows while you're there. So it's kind of saying like, look, this is temporary. Try to enjoy it while you can. Try to find the benefits of it while you can, right? Because eventually you're going to be done with this and you're going to be able to keep moving on, keep continuing, okay? I don't know exactly what this is, but it does feel like something is taking away your independence or your freedom or your control of something for a temporary period of time, for a fixed period of time. Yeah. I want to do, before we look at the mystery card, I want to consult real quick an empowerment oracle. Not that we need any more power, but we'll do an empowerment oracle card. I feel like it'll give us a good message here. And we've got the oak tree of strength. Well, yeah, we've got that 9. Don't forget the 9 of Wands at the very first card. I am strong and capable. I fulfill the responsibilities of my life. I am an oak tree of strength, supporting those who are close to me. The oak tree of strength. Kind of a reminder that, hey, you can endure anything. You can make it through this. Okay? And it is for your benefit that you're going through this thing. It's a limited period of time, a fixed period of time. You are strong enough to endure. Okay? And it is in your best interest. Let's look at the mystery card. How much do you want to bet it's going to be fire? I would like to see some water, obviously. I think the water would be very good. I think the water would show that we're kind of like, you know, we're cooling off a little bit. We're finding some benefit here. It's not as bad as we thought. There's going to be some joy here. You know, a 6 of cups would be just fantastic right now. But I kind of feel like it's going to be some fire. And I don't know if maybe it's going to be an ace of wands again. Put your prediction in the comments. Let's see. It's the Knight of Wands. It is fire. It's fire on fire. In fact, it is more Aries energy. I think Aries is a very significant sign for you right now. I would recommend you watch the Aries reading, okay, that we just did. This is a card that is kind of trusting things, you know, and in a way, maybe it's just that we've got to trust whatever this other entity is. If this is your friend, your manager, your family member, your romantic partner, if this is the boss at work, if this is that company that wants to hire you or something, or the changes that they're making in your department, whatever it is. I wonder if this Knight of Wands is sort of a confirmation that we should trust this a little bit. That we should not resist it, because we're going to make the friction. We're going to rock the boat. It's kind of like when you're on a motorcycle, right? And you're turning with the motorcycle. You want to lean into the turn, right? You don't want to, like, you know, your body's going one way and the bike's going the other way. You're going to be in for some problems, right? So maybe this is that confirmation that says you've just got to lean with it, okay? And make the best of this, because this is going to be something in your best interest for your benefit. Okay? Anyway, let's do the extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Virgo are on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.